Hey guys, you have found your way to Mortgage Sense with Kevin, a common sense approach to mortgages. My name is Kevin Blair with Element Home Loans, and I can't wait to introduce my guest today. I have known this lady for probably, I'm going to say probably 10 years. We've done some business together. I finally talked her into doing the podcast with me. And when you hear her talk, you'll know why I'm about to say what I'm about to say. I could talk to her all stinking day long. Miss Denise, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Doing great, thank you.
Fantastic. This is Denise Murphy with Keller Williams here in Chattanooga. Um, Denise, so it's important to me, okay, because the reason I started our radio show, turned it into a podcast, and then I say 6 months ago, we completely revamped our channel, and it has really taken off for us. Um, but to me, I started this thing because I wanted to expose the games that are in the business on my side and your side, okay? Um, but most importantly, what I like to do, especially on our first one, is who is Denise Murphy? Where did she come from? How long have you been in business? Tell us about you.
Okay, I'm Denise Murphy, and I've been in the business 20 years. This is my 21st year. I was at Realty Center for 2 years, and I've been at Keller Williams for the last 18. So I started real estate in 2003.
You've seen a few things.
I have. I've been
You've
through a lot. I've been through all the ups and downs, and
yes.
many people coming in at the business and out of the business. That happens a lot.
It's funny because I'm getting ready to start my 24th year, which just blows my mind. But we've seen the ups and downs, and those of us, and I say it because you just touched on it, those of us that are serious about the business, that do this as our careers, okay, uh, we've stayed in it. And I know back in '07 and '08 when it imploded, um,
Right,
we actually doubled down, got even better at what we did,
right,
and what I say perfected our craft.
right.
And it's so important for people to understand that um, people in our industry, and I'm talking both sides of it, they do come and go. Uh, but 21 years, that's fantastic. So, what's your secret sauce? What makes you special?
Well, um, I like to do business. I network a lot.
Hmm.
I belong to a great group. We're called Chattanooga Network Connection, and we're based in Chattanooga. And I have been in that group for 20 years, and about a third of my business comes from that group. There's one person from each category, and yeah, about a third of it. And I also do a lot of repeat business, like you
Hmm.
do. We feel like we try to do a really good job first time around so that when they come back around, um, they think of us. And also, a lot of those people give us referrals of their friends and family. And it just it makes you feel good that people are really happy with how the transaction went.
Yeah, and you know what? This is my podcast, so I can say anything I want to. I was on a call this morning with about 400 people, 400 loan officers that I'm a part of every single morning,
Right.
and they were talking. Today is database day, and so they were talking about that, and they asked me to talk about it because they know I'm having and have had success with our database. Um, and the guy that leads it says, Kevin, a year ago you were afraid to make these calls. I said, yeah, because some of them have been 10 or 12 years since I talked to them, but they all remember me. And he says, you don't get any complaints, do you? I said, well, yeah, I've had two. I have 1,300 people in my database, closed loan database, and I had two. And one of them was our fault, and we made it right. And we closed both of these. But I've only had two people that were not satisfied with the way we do our business,
Right.
and then there are some people, as you know, we can't satisfy. So
Right.
uh, that is so interesting. And before we started this call, we were talking about a kind of a surge that's going on in both sides of our market.
Right.
Um, tell me what you were telling me about what's happened in the last 6 months and what's happened in the last 3 weeks.
Right. I was telling you that people I've been in contact with, either sellers or buyers I've shown homes, sellers I might have spoken to, all of a sudden the last couple of weeks have just come back out and everybody's come back together. So I think sometimes when there's a change in interest rates or something happened in the market, everybody takes a step back,
Hmm.
as they should, to kind of see what's happening, and then they come back out. So
What we are seeing, and there has been a big pause. Okay, there was a fear factor of what's happening. Uh, and Josh and I put together, and I don't know if I've sent that to you. I need to send that to you. We put together a slideshow, and I hate PowerPoints. I hate them, but it's a great source of information. And it talked about buyers and sellers and what's going on since the rates kind of got crazy on us. Now, you and I know that the last 3 or 4 years have been absurd, and that's not normal.
right,
Okay, we're back to a 40 or 50-year normal right now, but here's the key in what we're finding. And you and I, we've had this conversation before, and I'm going to use a $400,000 purchase price. At a $400,000 purchase price, and the payments are going to be about $250 a month more than what they were. Okay, so at 250, that's $3,000 a month. Now, that $400,000 home, national average is 5.8% right now. Okay, appreciation. So that's 20 grand, a little over 20 grand in appreciation. So if they wait, guess what? They're going to pay $20,000 more. Okay, but if they also wait, guess what? When the rates do drop, and with our low inventory, the competition is going to be stupid. Okay,
right,
and they're actually going to pay more because of the competition.
right,
And what I'm advising my people is, you know what, if we may have to spend $3,000 or $4,000 more for the house, but the appreciation is outrunning that.
yeah.
Okay.
That is a really great point, and that's what I've been telling the buyers that I'm working with. Is my fear for them is, and no one has a crystal ball, but when things do drop, then the competition's coming back out. People are waiving home inspections. They're going to put appraisal gaps where they're willing to pay more for an appraisal, and the competition is going to drive prices up.
So it's about, and it's always, to me, it's always been about this. I don't care what market we're in. It's about having a real conversation, okay, and talking to people and giving them facts.
Right.
Uh, you and I worked with a great young man that moved here, and it took us how long? I don't want to exaggerate. How long did it take us to close that deal?
Um, I don't know. It's sometimes a blur. Weeks. Weeks.
It was almost 2 years, Denise. He
Oh,
left
from start to finish. Oh,
from
yeah, yeah.
start to, from
Now I see.
start to finish. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, and it was a very unique situation.
right,
And talking about a very high price point.
right,
But you know what? It's not about, and this is what I've always told people is, and if you were sitting there, and I know there's a lot of conversations that we have together, it's not about me. It's
right,
not about you. It
right,
is about the families that we are taking care of.
right.
And
Exactly.
that's why I love working with you because um, I've often said the day that it becomes about the money, okay, is the day it's over for us,
Right.
okay, because people will see that. Um,
Right. And I do think that's why we get a lot of repeat business because, when I meet, let's say a buyer, I tell them, I'm not going to sell you a home. I want you to buy it.
that's right.
And so, it's your sale and we've got to do the best thing for you. So
That's it.
sometimes they fall through and that's right for the buyer.
So tell me, give me your top two, maybe three. What do you love about this business?
Well, for me personally, it's the people.
Hmm.
And it's all the way around, realtor friends, mortgage, title people. Um, and then I was talking to my networking group this morning when I did a presentation. I used to teach phys ed and I used to coach, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of kids and quite a lot in this area. So it's wonderful for me. Those students and some of their families and the teachers, they are buyers, they are sellers for me, they're investors, they're contractors, they're mortgage people, home inspectors. They do work for me. fixing up homes and doing repairs. So for me, I love that. That's one of the biggest things.
Right.
And then just seeing people, I enjoy, I've had doctors I've worked with, investors. I work a lot with investors. And then you've got people that have worked on their credit for a year and they're in their first house after lots
Right.
of hard work. I've sold a home to people, it was their first home and they were in their 50s. They had never owned a home. So there's so much pleasure all the way around. But it's
There,
about the people.
there really is. I can't imagine. Honestly, after 24 years, I had a completely different career for 20 years prior to that. I wish I had been in this business for 44, 45 years because I can't imagine doing anything else.
Right.
And now, as you know, my son came to work for me 2 years ago, which gave me even more passion for what we do because he's grabbed that passion and he's loving what we do because there's nothing like putting a family in a home, whether it's their first home or whether it's their fifth.
Right.
Uh, and there's just something about that. Well, Denise, what is the best way? Because you're going to get some calls.
Okay.
You're going when they see this, and I want to do more of this with you, by the way.
Okay.
What is the best way for people to find you?
Um, Really, I have a website, denisemurphy.net, but really it will be a phone call or a text to my cell phone number, which is 423-280-1077. And or my email address is denise@denisemurphy.net. Those are the best places to reach me. And I'm happy to talk to anybody and, see if it's a good fit for them. But I do want to say you're a great mortgage person. I have been on the other side of quite a few deals with you. And I think we do business very similarly. It's
Yes.
all about the client and making it happen for them in the way that they want it to. And I really appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. I'll send your dollar to you later,
Yeah,
okay?
there you go.
For saying that. Well, if you want information about mortgages, if you want numbers, if you want on any home that Denise has or any home that Denise she can show you from the MLS, from Dalton, Georgia to Dunlap to probably to Knoxville, okay?
And also, well, down North Georgia too. I'm a Georgia agent.
That's right. So if you're interested in getting approved, you're interested in talking numbers, or if you're interested in just setting up a plan, my website is kevinblairteam.com. My phone number is 423-488-7571. You can actually go right up here to the About Me page, fill out a couple of questions. It'll come right to me and I'll call you personally. If you like this kind of information, hit hit subscribe. We'd love to hear your comments, love to have your questions. Denise, thank you so much. Number one, thank you for your friendship.
Yep.
Thank you for your business. Thank you for being a true pro at what you do. And guys, if you are looking for an agent, that's the one right there. That is the one.
Thank you for
Denise,
the opportunity, Kevin.
thank you so much. And we'll talk before Christmas, but Merry Christmas.
Yeah, you too.